So somebody commented on my last video and wanted to hear my testimony, my story. Well, today I want to share that with you. A couple other people have asked me about it too, and I just hope that it shows you how you can be bold, how you can step out, how you can make a difference. Because it's through my story that I want to help you guys engage this world. Enjoy it. So, like any story, there's a beginning. For me, when I was raised, we didn't go to church every weekend. We went to church every now and then. It wasn't every week kind of thing. When I was old enough to say I don't want to go to church, the thing is, I didn't go to church. So in my life, I was doing a lot of partying. When I got into high school, I was all about hanging out with the friends, and I was all about drinking and drugs, and I just got tied up into that lifestyle. Shortly, after high school, I graduated and I went to the military. I joined the Army, and then it just seemed to get worse. I didn't do the drugs because they could test for drugs. I had to take drug tests. But I did the drinking. Was still about the girls. I was about fighting. Me and my friends would always try to get into bar fights. We would always try to get into some kind of trouble, some kind of mischief. Shortly after that, I met my daughter's mom. I thought I was going to settle down. Thought I was going to live a family man lifestyle. We never got married, but we had a child out of wedlock. So that kind of made me settle down a little bit. Things just didn't work out. So about a couple years after my daughter was born, I volunteered to go to Iraq with my unit. They were getting attached to another unit, and had the time of my life over there. I absolutely loved being in combat, being over there during the invasion of 2003. And when I came home, I met a girl shortly after coming home. We had previously met earlier in our lives. It just wasn't the right time, I guess. But this time was the right time, and we met. And ever since then, we've been together. And I ended up obviously marrying her. She is the love of my life. She's awesome. Lord really has used her in my life to bring me to Him. After meeting my soon-to-be wife, the girl I was going to marry, Holly, a couple years later, I was supposed to go to Afghanistan. I was in the mobilization phase of my deployment in 2005. While I was being mobilized, my daughter's biological mom decided she would get locked up twice in 1 week, so I wasn't able to go to Afghanistan with my unit, with all my friends, with all my closest friends, and specifically two of my best friends. But during that time, I stayed active duty and worked at the Reserve Center. Constantly, that was my job. That was my daily routine. Ended up getting married to my wife, and got custody of my daughter. But during that time, I came to a pretty dark place in my life. In March of 2006, I lost two of my best friends. They were in Afghanistan. They got caught in an IED strike. And it really hit me hard. Our friendship went far beyond the uniform. Me and one of them was in the other one's wedding. We were always together. If any of us needed anything, we would drive as far as we had to be there for each other. They were my closest friends, and I've haven't had that kind of friendship since then. So I was really struggling with some things. I started drinking. I remember going to, at that time was my youngest son's swim practice. He was swim lessons. I had Mountain Dew, but I would always put Southern Comfort whiskey in my Mountain Dew to drink while I was out there. Just bad time in my life. I had a great family, great support system, but I had lost two of my brothers. So I guess it was during this time that things started to turn around a little bit. Remember, our oldest son came home one day from school saying he was invited to church by one of his friends, and he wanted to go. So my wife was wanting to try this church out anyway, and so she told me, she's like, well, I'm going to take the kids to church, and if you don't have to go, because I know how you feel about church, but you don't have to go, but if you want to, you can come with us. So I said, well, you guys have fun. I'm not going to go. I don't want to go. There's too many hypocrites in the church, and I don't need to be around any hypocrites, a bunch of fake people. But, you know, I still went. I went that night. I didn't want to hear I didn't want to be in trouble with my wife for not going with her and the family to church. So I went to church. Well, that night at the church, the pastor preached on hypocrites in the church. It was divine providence of God, man. I didn't know what to think, but he spoke on hypocrites in the church, and we continued to go to that church because we felt genuinely loved. And there was a time when we didn't go for about 2 months, didn't go to church. And then when we went back to church, people would, oh, where you been? We've missed you. We've been wondering about you guys. And that just really threw me for a loop. I'm like, dude, you don't even know me. You don't even know who I am. You don't know me from anyone else down the street. But you say you miss me. You've been thinking about me. Who are you? But I just really never felt love like that before. I've never felt genuinely loved like these people. They truly missed us. They missed not only me, but my wife and my kids. We felt like we belonged there. I've never had that sense before. So, then we continued to go back. And I remember one day the pastor spoke on the Lamb's Book of Life. He taught on the Lamb's Book of Life out of Revelation. And he would talk about how when somebody came to Christ, when somebody submitted their life to Christ, that they were then wrote down in the Lamb's Book of Life, and they would spend eternity with the Father because of him, through him. And I remember finding out that my two best friends that got killed in Afghanistan in 2006, I remember finding out that they were saved. One of them got saved on his 2-week leave, just like 2 months before he got killed. And the other one, I can't remember when he got saved, but I remember they were saved. So hearing what the pastor was preaching on and knowing that they recently came to Christ, during that time I realized that I wouldn't get to spend eternity with my boys, and at that time that was the most important thing to me. I had to spend eternity with my boys. I had to party with them for the rest of the time that we could. We had to be together, because that was my simple mind back then. Little did I know that was what God was using to bring me to him, saying, hey, your friends are here. I want you here. I want a relationship with you. It's like he shined down on me at that moment. And at that time, I just gave my life to Christ. I made that walk down to the altar. I prayed that prayer with my pastor at that time. And I just told Jesus that whatever, from this point on, whatever you want from me, whatever it is, what you want for my life, I will do it. I am here with you. I want to be with you. I want to dwell with you. Whatever you wanted, I will do. Since he has saved me, and I started feeling a call to ministry and kind of seeing what that would be like, and through some guidance and counsel. But since then, he's called me. He's called our family to start a church. He called us to move across the country into a state, a city, into a land that we never knew about, that we had never been here before. He called us to a place that we've never been. It's because of him that we can live. It's because of him that we can go out and face this crazy world. It's because of him that we have been bold, and we have stepped out in faith and made the journey across country to start and pastor this church, the Edge Church that we love so dear. And it's because of him that we can even make a difference in this world. It's not even us that make a difference, but through us, he makes a difference. And I just want to encourage you that you can make a difference in this world because of him. When I told you, when the light shined on, I felt like the light was shining on me that day, like he just really came into my life. That was my aha moment, man. That was when I realized that I had to have him, that there was no other way in this life than with him. And he was going to make, through me, he was going to make a difference in this world. I'm nothing special, but what he has done in and through me is something extraordinary. So there it is. That's pretty much my story in a nutshell, man. It's taking a little bit longer than I wanted to take. I get pumped up when I tell my story, because it's all about Jesus and how he transformed me, how he took me from a lowly sinner who loved to fight, who loved to drink, who loved to use drugs, who loved to be with girls, into the man who I am today, how he just took that from my life. He freed me from all that, to help people be bold, to help people step out, to help people make a difference in this world. There was my aha moment. I had my aha moment. So I want a question for you. Have you had that aha moment? Have you had that moment when you realized, this is it? This is it. If so, I want to hear about it. Comment below. Comment below and tell me about that aha moment. I want to celebrate that with you. But if you haven't had that aha moment, I just want to ask you, why not? I'd love to hear why not. None of us are the same. None of our stories are the same. My story is unique from anybody else's. It's my story. But share it. I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear that aha moment, or why you haven't had the aha moment yet. Just like every other week, I just want to send these out to inspire you to be bold, to step out, to make a difference in this world. And if you just like to hear more of these things and hear more stories from possibly other people, or how we can live this life to make a difference in this world, if you'd like to hear more, hey, click the subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon so you know when we release another video. But thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it, man. I'm praying for you guys. Let me know. Let me know below if you have any prayer requests. Let me know below what you would like to hear next. I would love to get your input on that. Thank you, guys. Out.